Hello everyone, how are you all doing? Now, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ted, and as you might know, just a couple hours ago now, in the moment of you watching this video is maybe already a day ago, but Valve released the final pick'ems, the viewer pass for the final CSGO major ever. You know, the last one, and is the last pick'ems. Is hella exciting. We have Challenger stage, then Legend stage, then the playoffs, obviously. We did that last time with the Rio Major, which went up absolutely nuts because of, you know, how crazy the entire tournament was and all of the results. But as we did last time, this time we're going to have 3 videos. And this one is going to be the first out of them. It's going to be the one where I do my pickups for the Challenger stage. I tell you why I picked that team and this team and why I don't pick the third team. And yeah, hopefully this video will help you out a little bit, and hopefully I get a diamond coin in the end, because it's gonna be hella dope to, and it would be hella dope to have a diamond coin out of the last CSGO major ever. And hopefully I help you out on your road to the diamond coin as well. And even if you don't agree with what I'm saying, you know, maybe this will help you out to, you know, form your own opinion on how to go with this one. So yeah, looking forward to it. Let's get into it. Okay, we're already in game. Ready for the first one, the Challenger stage. I just got my viewer pass just a couple hours ago, and I haven't even had the time to actually... I think I just chose the graffiti. Yeah, I chose Furia. Actually, looking at the stickers, by the way, because we can't do a pick and video without talking about the stickers. The stickers are the same as the Antwerp ones, so I'm a little bit disappointed. I think I expected something more interesting, but... yeah, lack of creativity, I'd say, for a lot of those. The only one I think that had a significant difference between the last one, well, the one in Antwerp and this one, and obviously that counts only for the teams that played in that tournament in that major in Antwerp, was Heroic, but that's because they rebranded, so I guess it doesn't really count. Gamer Legion has a new logo compared to the last major. All I'm gonna say is I think I like the last one more. I think I liked it better, but yeah, we're gonna get into it. Okay, so Challenger stage, baby. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Each year, by the way, every year, every major, I should say, I see people putting teams like FaZe and G2 in the trio, and I still, up to this date, I don't understand why you would do that unless you're just trying to be an OG and just snipe it, right? Unless you're trying to be a sniper and just be like, hey, I can flex on you that I got the trio, right? Teams like those, they should be going through. The reason, obviously, I guess at this point a lot of people know it, but just putting that out there in case someone doesn't know who's watching the video. If you put a team like G2 in 3-0, now everyone can agree that there's like a 95% chance that G2 and FaZe make it through, right? But let's say you put G2 to go through without a single defeat, and then they miraculously get matched up in a 1-0 against, I don't know, they get matched up against Monte or FaZe or Gamer Legion or whoever, and they lose in a BO1. They make it through in a 3-1 fashion, but they still lost one game, and you've kind of screwed yourselves up. So teams like G2 and FaZe, I guess those are the easiest ones to just put in the should go through in the 7 teams that will advance. Now the other one that's easier for me, I guess, following what I've had as my thoughts, I'm gonna go Fluxo, all 3. I guess the 3 teams that people are gonna be thinking about when thinking about the all 3 are gonna be Greyhound, Fluxo, and the Mongols. Now, the way that I'm thinking about it, which is not always the correct way, but the way that I'm thinking about it, I don't think there's a single team in this stage that Fluxo is better than when it comes to best of 3s. Now, in a BO1 environment, do I believe that Fluxo can beat the Mongols, beat Complexity, beat even Greyhound? Yeah, of course in a BO1. They might be able to beat some of the other teams in a BO1. But from what I've seen, I think Fluxo is... I'd say that they're the perfect example of a South American tier 2 team, right? A Brazilian tier 2 team. They're playing some crazy style CS, a lot of aggressiveness in their play style, and taking a lot of individual fights. They're playing a little bit looser, not a lot of structure, not a lot of thought behind the game, it seems like from the outside. So I guess I don't think that they are on the same level as the other teams here. I feel like the Mongols tactically are much more well prepared. I feel like it is the same with a lot of the other teams. I don't want to do disrespect to Greyhound, even though I have that meme that whenever I've trusted Greyhound with my O3 pick, they've never disappointed me. They've always been O3 whenever I've picked them. But I feel like I can give them credit to. I can give them some credit now. They've been trying to play some more solid CS recently, and they've had some alright results. They've been playing really well in games that they've lost, yeah, but they've been playing well, and you can see that they're. I feel like they're getting more into the basics and you know, mastering them. I'm talking about the basics on high level CS, obviously, but I feel like they're starting to look like a more defined team now. Even though obviously the skill is not up there with well, not a lot of the teams that are in this stage, but this stage is hella stacked. So yeah, I'm gonna go Fluxo all 3 here, and then I'm gonna go back to the teams that I think will go through. Now, I don't think the Mongols will go through. I don't think Complexity will go through. I think Mouse go through. Mouse should be a pretty obvious one as well. I feel like the bad result that they had in Rio doesn't really matter for that team. It doesn't matter to me, to be fair. I feel like it's really hard to be as focused and as motivated going into the penultimate tournament before the major, right before the major. Or, well, it's actually the last tournament. Don't know why I said penultimate, but yeah, last tournament before the major. Could be a lot easier to be a bit disfocused, a bit burned out. I know for a fact that those guys needed some break after the Rio event, and well, don't wanna make it sound bad, but maybe some of the players were almost happy that they got a couple of days off, especially with how tight the schedule has been so far this year. So yeah, I think Mouse is one of the teams that has impressed me a lot this year with the growth in their playstyle. So yeah, I'm putting them in. I think they should be going through. The other team that I'm putting through is going to be ENCE. I feel like the addition of Nerds has made them really powerful. I think it's really obvious that he just fits the system way more nicely than Valde did. I feel like ENCE is just a team that needed that kind of an aggressive player, such as Nerds, and Valde just didn't fit that. I feel like everyone's way more comfortable now with Nerds in the lineup, and you know, obviously they haven't been winning tournaments. They haven't been going deeper into tournaments, but they are a top team right now. Even though they've been losing maybe some games that they should be winning, they're still on that shaky ground where they can be really close to getting eliminated, but I still feel like they're going to make it through. On that note, right now there's 3 teams right here that I'm pretty certain at least 1 or 2 of them are not going to make it through. And those are ENCE, OG, and NIP. I feel pretty similarly about all of those. I feel like each one of those teams, maybe ENCE is the best one out of the 3. I'd say that NIP is the second one, and then it's OG. I'm gonna put an NIP through. I feel like I just don't believe in OG right now. I don't know why. I love Dexter as a player. I think Dexter is a great oper, and obviously he's an insanely gifted player and one of the best opers maybe in the world. I personally like Nico and think that he's a good player. And from what I've heard, to every single player I've actually had the pleasure of talking to that's played with Nico or known Nico at some point, everyone's told me the same thing. Nico's extremely skilled in game, right? So I don't know why I feel like that about OG. I just feel like they can lose to pretty much anybody. Even though I feel like they can still beat a lot of teams. Yeah, I'd rather give my trust to NIP simply because of, you know, seeing that in NIP there is some growth, and I feel like there's a lot of uncertainties around OG, which doesn't help when it's just about to start. Talking about the major, obviously, but when a major is just about to start, it doesn't really help you out before a massive tournament. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave OG out of this. I'm putting NIP in. Now, going forward, this is when it becomes really interesting, right? Because you gotta start thinking about the 3-0 being a possibility as well. Now, one of the teams that I was thinking about when it comes to a 3-0, I was thinking about Monte. Because Monte, I guess not a lot of people have missed what they did at the RMR. Everyone's aware of how skilled Boros is now after that performance on LAN. I feel like I'm still not sold on it. But the first round matchup against FaZe is really risky. I was thinking about being interesting and being like, you know what, Monte beat FaZe, this will be a 1, they can do it, and then they go 3-0. I think Monte will play in the Legend stage. I really believe that they have the individual skill to get them through. Now, do I think that Monte, if it's up to a 2-2 decider game against, I don't know, a team like OG, do I believe that they're the favorites? Hell no. Hell, OG are the favorites in that kind of a game, in that kind of a scenario. But I'd still want to be a bit more interesting with it, and I think Monte isn't a bad pick whatsoever. Now we go to the last few places, and at this point, my process of thinking is as follows. I don't think Complexity make it. I don't think the Mongols make it. I don't think Apex make it. I don't think Pain and OG will make it. So I'm left with Forza, Gamer Legion, and Liquid. And that's where it gets interesting. Now, my initial reaction seeing Forza's first round matchup was put them in a 3-0, right? They're going to be on a 1-0 start. I feel like Forza is maybe the perfect 3-0 pick for 90% of the people. I'm just going to try and be a little bit more interesting with it, because when I was talking about the pick'ems with a friend of mine a couple of hours ago, we both were thinking the same with Forza, and he went for it. So now I kind of don't want to copy him. You know what I mean? So I will just think about it outside of the box and go for something else. But Forza is a great pick for a 3-0, I think. They are a team that normally can get up to a 2-0 score and then choke. So it's kind of the great pick. I mean, if they go through, there's a good chance that they will go through 3-0, considering they have a favorable matchup in the first round, right? But then if they lose the first one, then they get a tough opponent in the second one. Or let's say they go up 2-0. They lose the first game that they have to qualify for the Legend stage. Then they get a tougher matchup in the 2-1. Then they lose again. Then the pressure is going through the rooftop, and you get matched up against, I don't know, a Liquid, and you probably bump out. So I'm left with two teams that I'm trying to still think of how I want to use them. It's kind of, I'd say it's maybe three teams that I'm trying to figure out how to use. It's Liquid, Monte, and Gamer Legion. Now, the things that I was thinking about, Liquid is not a team that has proven that they deserve a lot of credit so far this year when you look at the results. But I'm just thinking about it. A team that has Naf, Elige, and Yekindar on it, it is impossible not to play at a Legend stage. At least this is what I'm thinking about. And that's the reason why I want to put them in here. I want to put Liquid to go through. So now, my initial thought is Gamer Legion 3-0, Monte to advance forward. But I'm still thinking about it. And I feel like Gamer Legion is arguably the best tier 2 team right now. At least one of the best. It's really hard to say which one is the best, because, you know, you have tier 1.5, tier 2, and blah, 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 blah. But Gamer Legion is a team that's grown so much. And comparing them to last time when they played a major, it was at IM Rio. They started 2-0 in the Challenger stage, and then they went out 2-3, which is pretty unfortunate for them. But I think that if they find themselves in a similar position this time around, they're going to be way more calm and well drilled than they were almost 1 year ago, I guess, like 8 months ago. So I feel like if they go 2-0, even if they lose one game, they will still go through. And this is why I'm really worried about it. So now I'm actually thinking about throwing in a Handmaker. You know what? I will. I will. I'm throwing in Monte 3-0. I'm throwing in Gamer Legion to qualify. Those are going to be my picks for the Challenger stage. I'm calling it here. If Monte lose to FaZe Clan in the first round, I'm going to be really sad about it. But I think there's a good chance that Monte upset FaZe Clan in the BO1. And if they do upset FaZe Clan in the BO1, I really see them go through in a 3-0 fashion, riding on the momentum. And I'm not willing to risk Gamer Legion for a 3-0, because I feel like even if they lose one game at this point, they're a well-working machine. And they are a team that can handle pressure. So, yeah, those are going to be my picks. And looking at it right now, I think I'm quite happy with it. Of course, let me know in the comments what you're thinking about my picks. What were the picks that you went for? What was the reasoning that you used when you were going for your picks as well, if they're any different than mine? And yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment below telling me what your picks are and why my picks are terrible and how I don't know anything about what I'm talking about. And of course, I will see you in the next video. That is going to be a bit of a recap of this one, and we're going to hopefully talk about the Legend stage and still have the dream of a diamond coin. Hopefully we don't lose it in the first stage. That would suck quite a lot. Thank you for being with me. Bye bye.